Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the Political Vigilante. Oh man, we're trying so hard. The United States is to push China into some type of war. We need them as a bad guy, even though we're so dumb that if we do this, and China, I mean, we're like China owns a bunch of our debt, so they could just call that debt, and we're bankrupt. But also, it doesn't make sense that China they're trying to invade us. China is only reacting to us surrounding their country. Let me show you this. Surrounding their country with military bases. We've surrounded their country with military bases. And then we do shit like this. I want to show you this. We are pushing them into war. And articles like this, again, make it seem like, oh, we're just reacting. This is America's. We're just reacting. No, we don't. China is surrounded on like 70% of its borders by military bases. And we outspend China. If we cut our military budget in half, we would outspend China by $200 billion. That's if we cut it in half, we would outspend them by $200 billion. So this is out there, what Japan's new naval power means for Lockheed Martin. Japan is building aircraft carriers again. Soon it will need some fighter jets to fly them off. A joint Chinese-Russian flotilla of 10 warships spent much of last week circling Japan's main island before retreating back to Chinese waters. This was the first ever joint Chinese-Russian naval patrol in the region. And an action CNN warned could potentially reignite regional tensions. To confront the implied threat, Japan is looking to add aircraft carriers to its navy for the first time since World War II. And that could actually be good news for defense contracting giant Lockheed Martin. So it's all about the money. They're just saying it. Whoa, good news. But again, they're acting like this is in response. Like, boy, America and Japan were just minding their own business, and China and Russia circled them. It is preposterous. I mean, this is just, and then this is the big photo on it. And they reran this article on YouTube. So let me show you this. These are all the bases near Russia. Okay, so this is Russia. These are all the bases surrounding Russia. And then these are, let's not add, this is also bases that are surrounding China as well. South Korea, all throughout Japan, the Philippines. Like, we have, and then we have bases in India. I mean, all of our Middle Eastern bases are near China. Kazakhstan. I mean, we have surrounded Russia and China. And then we act shocked that they do military exercises because they're like, wow, we could be invaded. They're looking at this map too, going, wow, they could just overrun us. I'm not making any excuses for any of China's authoritarian actions, but there's no map of the United States. Can you imagine if this many bases surrounded the United States? If there was Chinese and Russian bases all throughout Mexico and the Caribbean and Canada, and could you imagine that? Could you imagine that? The Catalina Island, right off of LA. What if there was a Chinese base on it? I mean, could you imagine that? Just all throughout. I mean, we lost our shit when they were just trying to bring missiles to Cuba in the 60s. Can you imagine if the Russians just had missiles all through the Caribbean, all through Central and South America, and there was a big Chinese base in Brazil and Panama and Colombia, and the Russians had, bases in El Salvador and Mexico. Could you imagine how we would flip the fuck out if they did this to us? We're not the good guys. This is good for business. As that article just said, well, this is good business. If we arm and we sell stuff to these countries, Japan, if they start buying our aircraft carriers, that's good for Lockheed Martin. That's good. This is good business. See all this money we spend? Did they cut a school program for one of your kids' schools? They cut the music program? Oh, that went to this base. Are the roads all shitty by you? That went to this base. Oh, you have student debt? Oh, that went to pay for all this. Oh, did you have to file bankruptcy for medical bills? Yep. But these guys got plenty of money. They're good. They're good on money. The American people keep getting screwed. Unless, of course, you can join the military because you get health benefits and you stay in 20 years, you get pension. That's the only way. Articles like this are just to threaten them and to convince and to propagandize Americans into thinking the way those articles are always written. We had no choice. We had to respond. China was doing all these maneuvers in here. Why are they doing all these maneuvers in here? So they don't have the right to do naval maneuvers off their shores. So that's like saying, and imagine if Russia and China had military in Mexico and all those places Central and South and the Caribbean, and then we just ran our Navy off of the coast of Miami, and then Russia and China are like, whoa, America is flexing its muscles. We got to buy more aircraft carriers for the Cuban Navy now. Think of that. Because Americans have a hard time looking at the way the rest of the world views things. Imagine that. So that's like saying we don't have the right to run our Navy off the coast of California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, the Gulf of Mexico, up and down the eastern seaboard. We don't have the right to do that because there's a Chinese base in Bermuda. There's a Chinese base right? Can you imagine that? Could you imagine that? Barbados. There's a big Russian naval base in Barbados. So when we just wanted to do one little maneuver, what are you guys doing? You can't even get close to the American borders at all. And yet we do this. And it's to prevent them from expanding and blah, 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 blah. Have we ever tried to just, and by the way, I don't think China wants to invade a country with 330 million of its best customers. By the way, everything you own, you're wearing, you have is made in China. Everything. I guarantee you 90% of the stuff you have. I'm looking around this. This TV was made in China. This was made in China. The camera's made in China. My computer's made in China. This is made in China. My watch is made in China. My clothes are probably made in China, Sri Lanka, or something like that. My printer over there, the lights, they're all made in China. This is insanity. So, and then we're going to just put articles like this in the Yahoo News, and people are scrolling through their home pages on whatever search engine they're using. Oh boy. Oh, it's good business for Lockheed Martin. It means jobs. Why can't we have we're building, new green energy places in Japan that'll provide good jobs? What if Lockheed Martin, instead of building weapons of war that are going to bring about the end of the human race, what if Lockheed Martin used all their money and their science and tech? They hire brilliant scientists, I would imagine, and engineers, and they get the best and the brightest because they get all the money, because the United States government gives these defense contractors just blank checks to do whatever they want. Hundreds of billions of dollars, whatever the hell they want. Imagine if that money was spent for climate change. But we'll play this thing from Tiananmen Square over and over. Even though there's a bunch of videos of our cops beating the shit out of people just from last summer, just from this past, I mean, anytime there's a protest, our cops just beat the shit out of each other. All that money we spend on war, we could be spending on the American people. We could be spending it on reversing climate change. You don't think climate change is real? You're right. It wasn't like there was the Gulf of Mexico was on fire this past summer and there was flooding from New Orleans all the way up to New York City. It's not like that happened and the West Coast was on fire. And by the way, this winter we'll have more storms and flooding again. Big snowstorms, and then it'll melt because the snow's not, it's melting too quickly because the temperatures just change. It goes from freezing to like 60 degrees in a day. Then it'll have big flooding again. Then we're going to have droughts. But we got more, but Japan, we're going to sell Japan more aircraft carriers. Okay, think of that aircraft carrier every time you write your student loan check, every time you write your health insurance bill every month, and then you go get some procedures done and your insurance doesn't even cover all of it. So you still got to go out of pocket after paying the insurance and the deductible. Think about that. Think about all the money we spend on war. Think about that every day. I want you to think about that every day. You drive on a road that's beat up. Think about that. All the money we spent on war could have been spent to make the infrastructure of your town, your city. The buses aren't great or whatever. You could use light rail and no. Old trains. I'm from Chicago. They need new subway trains. They're old. They got a good public transportation system in Chicago, but the trains are old. We could have had that. Now we spent $3.5 trillion on 20 years of wasted war in Afghanistan. Think about that. Think about that. They cut a program at your kid's school. You could have had that. No social services. Homeless out of control. There could be housing for the homeless. There could be jobs and everything. No, but got money for war. But Lockheed Martin's going to make money selling so we can ramp up World War III in the Sea of Japan. Awesome. Smart. Long-term thinking. Really brilliant, you dipshit fucks. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. All wars are bullshit. Shave your knuckles for justice. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. We are still in our 9th month of demonetization from YouTube. So support what we're doing at patreon.com/Graham Elwood or rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. It's free to sign up and there's a premium level at $10 a month. And for that, you get everybody on the platform's premium content. Myself, Lee Camp, Ron Placone, Jimmy Dore, Whitney Webb, Kim Iverson, Abby Martin, and many, many others. You can also support what we're doing at Venmo at Graham-Elwood. And go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a PayPal button and a PO box. I also have crypto wallets, which are all in the show notes. Thanks for supporting what we do.